your mic up or something?
Um,
I can turn you up.
you probably just need to turn me up.
All right, will do.
Because I'm using a different mic, but this one shouldn't peak quite like my other one was
Oh, okay. So you got a new mic.
when I
That's
get
why
all
you're quiet.
excited. Well, it's not that it's just a different mic.
Gotcha,
And
gotcha.
I have it really compressed so that there's less peaks in the noise.
Okay.
But yeah, it's gonna make it you're gonna have to add some gain to it probably.
Yeah, I just turned you up a little bit, not much. You don't.
Fantastic.
You won't even have to add gain on your end because I still got volume space here.
Wow.
Yeah, you don't want to do like tons of gain and start distorting it. So just giving you that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I know what I'm doing. I'm a founding member of International Supergroup Tickle Fight.
Oh yeah, right. You do like music stuff. So yeah, you probably know like way more about audio than I do.
Stuff. Yes. Well,
All right.
assumptions of sorts.
All right. I've got the stream running. So
Is this where you have the intro thing, but they can still hear us anyway because you don't mute the audio?
yeah, I could totally mute the audio, but I haven't. Should I?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a bunch of ads because I made Twitch affiliate. And so now
Oh, you got to run ads now.
I don't know if there were ads before or not. So I'm going to run a bunch of ads just
That way
because
it's
to
not
burn.
interrupted.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't interrupt later. I don't know how this works. Straight up do not know how this works.
You should ask some real casters.
I kind of did a little bit of question down there, but I didn't get a whole lot of answers. I just haven't spent the time to find out.
Maybe you need to get the caster role, you know?
Yeah. So I've got like some delay here, so I'm doing the delay, and then I'm gonna try to run ads so it doesn't run in the middle of a drop. Oh, I have to have the
So
stream up
professional.
before I can push that button. So I don't know how ads and delay works. Do the ads get injected in real time, or do the ads get injected with the delay?
Probably with the delay.
I'd hope so, but
I mean, I don't know how else it would do it because you're technically not live right now on Twitch.
yeah, and I currently can't push the ad button, so I'm thinking it's gonna be injected in real time, not with the delay.
Interesting. Well, that's fine though, because
Well,
they're not going yet, right?
I'll have to remember to wait 5 minutes from when I want to run an ad to run an ad then.
How many ads do you have to run?
I don't know.
I thought you could run them all like in a chunk.
Yeah, that's what I was planning to do. Just run them all now while like
Yeah.
people
So
are.
then what's the problem?
Well, I can't run them currently because I'm on the delay and I can't push the button.
Yeah, but you will be able to. And then it's
Yeah.
like, I don't know, 2 minutes of ads?
Oh, I got an invite here. I gotta create a group. Throw you in the group quick.
Wow. Just throw me in there. I'll just hop in.
Yeah, there we go.
Boom.
All right.
Would you look at that?
Can I throw us in the? No, I can't put us in the spectator.
My man.
All right, we were in the spectate slots. Cool.
Fantastic. Has it been 5 minutes yet?
No, it has not.
Good to know. Good to know.
Okay, got map strat link. I got team logos up.
Oh yeah.
I've got you having audio.
Is it loud enough? Are the
pretty
levels? Did you take the viewer feedback to heart?
I mean, I can't really turn my mic up anymore without doing like audio boost, and I don't really want to do an audio boost.
Sure. Yeah. Don't do that.
And my audio is like, when I'm rewatching my streams, I see that my audio is cutting out early sometimes, probably because of the push to talk being released too soon.
Very
So,
well could be. See, that's why I'm just letting them fly. You know,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna let it come naturally. You know.
I was thinking of turning off my push to talk, but I'm worried about what happens then with like, because I don't have noise gates and stuff. So
Oh my
yeah,
gosh, it's these guys.
yeah, we cast
I
this.
mean that in the
Well,
nicest way possible.
did we cast that scrim or was it just me casting? Because I did two scrims that I cast, and one of them you were there, one you were
I
not.
casted at least both of these teams. I don't know if they were playing each other
Yeah,
or
they would
not.
have been playing each other then.
Was it the scrim?
Yeah, it was a scrim,
The
like
off the record.
a week or two before the season.
No doubt, no doubt. Straight up. Represent. My man Jimmy knows how to run a lobby here. Do you see how he's doing this? He's bringing the casters in, he's slotting them in. Now he's got the other team, he's brought them in. He's playing it close to the vest, you know. Team 2. Who's his pilots, you know? What lances are they on? We don't even know. Luckily, we don't have any rule referees in here to start any timers or any of that nonsense.
Yeah. Okay, I'm running ads right now, so hopefully they run before teams are ready and all that. I think I'm doing this right.
You've been bamboozled.
Okay, and I can confirm that your audio is in the stream, so this is looking good.
Wow.
Looking good so far.
Wow. Such great hair. Hit him with the hair compliment. Pay attention to the screen. Most importantly, what should I listen to copyrighted music on my side?
So your mic probably wouldn't pick up that copyrighted music for my channel, so go ahead, do whatever.
Yeah, well, of course it wouldn't. I'm an audio professional, Arax.
Alright, alright. We should probably start to do like some officialness now.
Oh, yeah, so, yeah. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, the ad does get injected into the stream, I think. I think it's on the delay, so I don't know. Well, we'll find out.
I don't even know either.
Okay, alright, so we're kicking this off. This is ISC Week 2. We have a Division G match between HyperOxii2 and the Sorenson Sabers.
HyperOxii2.
Yeah.
What a name.
I know, I'm not really sure where that name came from. Kind of a newer team. Okay, so we cast a scrim from these two teams a few weeks back, but that was a week 1 drop, so these teams probably haven't scrimmed the week 2 drops against each other, seeing as they're playing each other.
You'd like to think so. But, you know, there's all different approaches to preparing for the match this week, and maybe they wanted to know what each other was doing.
Could have happened. I don't know how friendly these two teams are together. Bunch of names here that I've played with or against. I played on Sorenson Sabers with G.I. Jimmy and Rafu and Phoenix Rocco, possibly the veteran Hank Reardon as well. But Sorenson Sabers also has some new players. And I was playing in the same division as Oxy when I was with the Sabers, where I was playing against Brandon and Quantum Raw. I'm not sure if anyone else. Mazarius, maybe? So a little bit familiar with the players. We also cast that scrim. So we're going to see Division G, lowest division in ISC. Could see some more variety of strats in the lower divisions than we do in the upper divisions.
That's right. And hey, I think all the divs are great. I said this before, because you never know what you're going to get. And regardless of skill level, it's going to be a close match. You know, it would be ideally. I think we're going to have a good time here today.
Yeah, I think so as well. So Oxy is coming off of a week 1 win. I believe they won 4 drops to 1 against their opponent, whereas the Sorenson Sabers are coming off of a loss in week 1, where they won 2 out of their 5 drops. So This is going to be, teams are still shaking out. We don't know where the teams align in their divisions as to top teams, bottom teams. Week 2 is kind of starting to narrow that out for us. But the Sabres are looking to bounce back with a win. Oxy's looking to keep the wins going, see if they can maybe push for first place in the division. I feel like if you pick up a loss in week 2, you're probably not going to be playing for first place come week 5. But who knows? Things could go differently. So pretty important for both teams to pick up the win here, get that momentum going in their favor, pick up those points.
It can always surprise you there, Axe. Sometimes even in week 2, it looks like, oh, that team's definitely going to be in the lead, and then it really tightens up by the end, by week 5. So. Yeah. You know, if you do start out 0-2, like, don't worry. There's still plenty of crazy MechWarrior action that can happen. Just, you know, surprise pushes, wrong drop decks, hero violations. All of this stuff can add up to an interesting end.
Yeah.
But yeah, ideally you don't want to start off that 0-2.
Yeah, and we're hoping we aren't going to see any hero mech violations or anything with this match today. Find out. Yeah. The other thing to mention is that, well, it's the match win that counts for placement in the division. Teams are actually earning MC for each drop win. So winning the match is important, but even if you manage to win drops within a match that you lose, you still are getting something for it.
So if a team is down 0-3, they pull a couple of wins, they pull out a win, their pilots are getting some pay. Is that what you're saying there, Rex?
Yeah, they can earn that valuable MC straight from the developers, Piranha Games, and then, you know, it's not all for loss, even if they can't pull off the match win.
True that. We got one team locked already, Therax. Maybe we should talk about the map that we're going into.
Yeah, well, you want the map strat up?
Let's get the map strat up.
All right.
So we got River City as our drop 1. Looks like these guys are going to be set up soon. It is the light drop, so there's not a whole lot of strategy, I think. Well, that's not fair to say. It tends to kind of break out into a free-for-all typically in these matches, especially on the lower div end. I'm suspecting that we're going to see some action around the Theta area and possibly around this upper city area, with sprinkle in a chance of some rain here in the starport there. Those are the major places I'm going to be looking for those battles to go down, these scrums. Focus fire, super important here. These teams are ready. We're dropping in.
All right, yeah, so just to clarify, it's 3-cap Conquest, 250 tons on the first drop.
That is correct. Yes.
Oh, I got scared. It was hanging there. Yeah, no, it's still loading.
You just got to believe. I'm in, for whatever that's worth.
Okay, I just got in as well.
Whew.
All right, so not going to touch the cameras too soon on here. Don't want any glitches in that favor. But it's 3-cap Conquest. Epsilon, Theta, Kappa, or the active caps, Gamma, and Sigma cannot be taken until the opposing team has been wiped. 250 tons with 6 mechs makes it pretty lightweight. A lot of lights and mediums.
Looks like you weren't the only one having troubles loading in here.
We'll find out here if the teams are crashing. They do have some time to get in, even if there's initial crash. We don't necessarily have to go to redrop.
What do you think we might see in the decks here? What do you think? What robots do you think we're going to see on the field?
I'm expecting brawling, small lasers. That's where I think it's going to be at.
Small lasers?
Yeah, with 250 tons, mechs are going to be fast. I don't think teams are going to do a whole lot of setting up. I think it's going to be more or less just push in and kill them.
I think this map really lends itself well to that Javelin 11F, the machine gun Javelin. It has the jump jets, the verticality, and machine guns right now. That's just kind of your bread and butter of your light battles right now, your light DPS.
Yeah, that Javelin of 11F is a very strong mech. Okay, we do have a formal hold here, so I'm going to
Don't show the decks there, Axe.
Yeah, we're going to wait a little bit on pulling up the information. While we're waiting for the teams to resolve their crashes, I'm just going to take a little peek-see around this map. Now we can't see who's disconnected or if they're reconnecting, so waiting for the teams to let us know.
How long do they wait for a hold before they redrop?
I don't remember that part of the rule book. I would guess 3 minutes. It's pretty standard, but we'll find out here. So if they aren't reconnected by around the 12-minute mark, we're probably going to see a redrop. I mean, if I was a team lead, I'd be reading through the rule book right now trying to figure that out.
Yeah, because if I was a team lead, I would not be prepared. Do the casters know the time rule for this comp? Hey, there's the guy with the answers. Wow.
Okay, so 2-minute hold. I was guessing 3.
I think 2 minutes sounds right. So I felt like at 13 minutes. That's just hindsight, though. It feels right. It makes me look right now. We're gonna take that at face value.
Now, if we do go to a redrop, then I will want to exit out of this lobby shortly.
Bum bum bum.
Well, we got a little look at the map here while we're waiting. It's not a bad looking map. I don't have my graphics very high up. All right, teams have made the call. They're going to pop their mechs off, and I'm going to exit out of here. If I exit out, then I have to get a re-invite back into the lobby. That's annoying.
Is that what you're doing?
No, I'm not going to. No.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put something up on screen so people can't see mechs.
Oh, that's really nice of you. I mean, the teams will see the max, but yeah, let's keep it a surprise for the viewers. I think that's a great idea. There's certainly some things to talk about here.
Well, I guess all the mechs got shown, so is what it is. Yeah, I think teams are going to be re-readying up right shortly unless that one player can't come back.
Come on, Cap. One, two.
Yeah,
right? Otherwise, it'll sit here and tick down.
yeah.
I hope the Sabers are.
Yeah, red team Sabers.
Yep. Looks like they got that.
Okay. Yeah, good thing you remember that. Hate to have their mechs all locked up.
I'd hate that too. I'd hate to be sitting here staring. Oh man. He's trying to overheat, but he didn't override. Oh my goodness. Oh, Brandon. They didn't see it, but I'm telling them, you're looking kind of silly now.
Come on, guys, finish off your mechs. Unless they got machine guns.
There
we go. Okay. I got scared there.
He was a weapon to surpass Metal Gear.
We got a GG well played over there.
Yeah, well done. Well done. The Sabers take this drop, and we're moving on. That's a joke.
All right, popping back into the lobby, redoing drop 1.
Now, Therax, what are the rules? Can they change their mechs? Can they change their lances? Do we redo the whole lobby game?
Those are all very good questions.
Somebody should know that. But
generally, I think teams are allowed to change their mechs, but I haven't gone through that rule book.
I think Oxy's gonna stick with their plan here. It looks like.
Yeah, I mean, you
they're ready to go.
Really want to be redoing your drop decks. You had a plan. You don't even know if your plan wouldn't have worked or anything. So,
Therax, I just want you to know, logos looking great.
Yeah, I don't have anything covered up. I checked that while we had that delay. Made sure I wasn't covering any of the cap points.
Yeah, that's good.
Alright, looks like Sabers have a couple players that are needing to...
Might have to kick and re-invite.
Yeah.
Give him the boot. Oh gosh. This is serious there, Axe.
Oh no, he might have...
Not only did the guy not load in, he is now MIA.
His PC blew up.
Good golly.
MWO claims another victim.
He will be missed. He is now the bondsman of HyperOxii2. So he'll be playing for them for the rest of the season. Well, you know, some traditions die hard there, Axe.
All right. Looks like Oxy's missing a player too now. All right. I'm gonna just pump another ad through while we're waiting for teams to ready up. Make sure that hopefully ads don't happen during drops.
Wow, this guy's just trying to make money off of you guys.
I think people are still trickling in, so I don't think this is inconveniencing too many people.
Still chumming the waters, you know? Still bringing them in. You know, maybe if you ping like the MWO comp Discord or something, you know, when you do it?
I don't think I have the role to ping in the Discord.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could ask somebody. It's not, or you could just put it in there. You could even just put it in there. Hey, come watch the Rax cast.
Yeah, I'm not as organized this week as I was hoping to be, and yeah.
Oh, it shows.
Yeah, it does. It does. Hey, at least I knew who won last week, right? So
I know. I was really impressed. It sounded like from the start of this cast, you were doing your homework, and that's what I appreciate about you.
I did spend 2 minutes looking things up quickly. So for anyone just joining us here, we're having some technical difficulties with the teams. One of the players had to disconnect and has not come back.
We got one guy back, so that's good.
So we have a redrop here. It's we're redoing drop 1, HyperOxii versus Sorenson Sabers. HyperOxii won their week 1 match 4 drops to 1, whereas the Sorenson Sabers lost their week 1 match 2 drops to 3. So,
and while we are redropping drop 1, as mentioned before, HyperOxii has already claimed a bondsman from the Sorenson Sabers. So that's interesting. We're going to see how that plays out later on throughout these drops.
Yeah, we're just waiting here. Teams are going to ready up shortly, I anticipate.
Oh, hey, look, here we go. You know what they say. When you lose a man to indentured slavery, bring him the trout.
Sure. Yeah, that's a saying in wherever you're from.
Yeah, just a saying from Canada. Looks like we're about to go here again. They teased us a little bit.
Teams are readied up. They're both at the 250 maximum tonnage for the drop.
Team 2 is locked. Jimmy's got the button. Is he gonna push it?
Any second now. All right, there we go. There we go.
Here we go. Oh, I see you covered the screen with the map strap.
Yeah, I just threw it up quick. I don't know. I should have used something else.
You got to get some graphics. You know, you got to get your reward certificate to put up there for everyone and the such. I loaded right back into River City this time. And that's a testament to how well the River City is running now, not that it was cache data.
Yeah, it took a little bit longer on my end, so, you know, time for the old PC to get an upgrade.
Oh, I got a good feeling about this time, though. The trout's gonna... You know what I just realized there, X? Why wouldn't you bring a trout to River City? Am I right?
Yeah, that's a good call. That's a good call. Teams
Looks like
are coming
everybody's
in.
Connected.
Neither team is going for the airport, so I'm going to look at oxidation initiation here quick. We've got a Paralocus, a 3M, and a 3V. 3V is going to be machine guns. 3M, I believe, is energy. And then we've got 2 Crusaders, 1 Javelin 11F, and a Hunchback 4SP. The 4SP is the missiles and small lasers, probably. Yeah,
I gotta
5
tell
small
you,
pulse, 2 SRM-6 Artemist.
wow, that's an old school build. I like Quantum sticking with it though. On the Sorenson Sabers side, 3 Javelin 11Fs. That's the mech that I was kind of talking about before that has some pretty good DPS for this kind of drop. They have a Phoenix 7S. That's typically the snub nose one. I'll let you know for sure in a second here. They've got a Thunderbolt top dog. That's one of the, boy, I like to see those guys. Large pulse and 8 small pulses on that. So that's kind of interesting. They are also rounding it out with the Hunchback 4P. I believe that's the laser vomit one.
Yeah, so lots of
The
small
Phoenix Hawk,
pulse
by the
and
way,
some machine
yep.
guns.
Phoenix Hawk, by the way, not snub nose. It's all small pulse as well.
Okay,
I
so
think
that'd
we're
be...
seeing a theme here.
Yeah, so they're definitely brawling with small pulses and machine guns.
That Hunchback's the
Oh,
classic
this
party
flea
pack.
is perhaps a little bit in trouble. He's facing off against a Phoenix Hawk, 1v1. Teams are coming in to back everyone up. We have a bit of a skirmish here with the lighter elements. Main bodies are just arriving now with the Crusaders.
Yeah, this is interesting. We're seeing some jarring at this choke point on the Citadel. I think that these Locusts, their acts are going to have a really hard time trying to compete with these Javelins, just simply on a DPS level. Not only that, they're grounded. They don't have the jump jets that the Javelins do. So
Trout takes a big hit, though. He's down to 78%, but Brandon's at 65%, so I don't think he wants to pursue that too hard.
Great focus fire from Sorenson Sabers here around Theta. Mezarius kind of got himself isolated, dying like a hero for his team. So maybe he's pulling them out so that his team could take the higher ground here, which is what HyperOxii2 is doing.
Crusaders are arriving at the fight, but they're coming in a little bit one at a time from Oxidation Initiation. The kills are even. Well, no, Brandon goes down, so kills are favoring Sorenson Sabers at the moment. That Hunchback is in the back, though. He needs to get into the fight. He is the tanking element here.
I think they're trying to use him as their big hitter, and you're right. He should be trying to tank a lot of this too.
We have the Hunchbacks are going at each other. They're high percentages, but that shouldn't last very long now that they appear to be focused target.
Drop one, you're kind of, at this point, I think we're going to see a snowball here. Although Oxybite might be able to pull this back.
Leg Bocus, but he's in the back of that Thunderbolt, putting in some good damage.
I want to believe in the Hunchback 4 SP, because this thing used to be an absolute
Hunchback's
chat
legged.
back in the day.
Hunchback from Oxy is legged. But we
He's
are down
stopped,
to...
No. He's not stopped. Oh, okay, he got stopped. We're down to 1 Locust, the 3V. Oh.
That's the drop there. Yeah, that was... I think the issue there for Oxidation Initiation is that their lights engaged before the rest of their team was able to assist them. It was a little bit of a 3v5 per se.
Not only that, I think the Sorensen's Sabers drop deck very synergized. They committed. They said, let's do small pulses on everything, and that's what they did, except for the javelins, of course.
Yeah. So the Phoenix Hawk went down early, picked up low damage because of that focused target, and this kind of a brawl typically does. But on Oxidation Initiation, you see 2 mechs that have under 100, and that's because the Javelin went in early and became the focus target when the lights were engaged, and then when the Crusaders showed up, one of the Crusaders was in the lead, and I'm guessing that's the one that has the 99 damage. Other than that, damage spread's relatively even. You've got Quantum Roll with the Hunchback carrying a 380 damage there with a single kill, and then on the Saber side, it's their heaviest mech, the Thunderbolt, with 351 and 2 kills. So yeah, the big mechs brought in the damage. The small mechs for the Sabers picked up a number of the kills, as those machine guns tend to do, and Sabers carry the first drop.
I do love me a top dog there, Axe. And honestly, I like seeing that 4 SP doing some damage out there. Again, I'm saying that's an old school build. Like that's back in 2017, 2018 when the 4 SP had insane structure for a medium back at that time. And it just wouldn't die. Fun seeing that again.
All right, teams are readying up for their next drop. It is Vitric Station or Vitric Forge. I can't remember the names.
Vitric Station. Vitric Forge is the FP map that it's based on.
There we have it. Okay, I'm going to pull up the map strat.
Please do. Not much to talk about on River City there. We kind of just saw him kind of get choked up. Oxy's lights, as you talked about, kind of taking the fight in the middle of the Citadel there, taking some early damage, and then just not really having the DPS to compete with those javelins. Vitric Station, going to be a different game though, and the tonnage is going up, right? We're probably going to see some more heavies, maybe even an assault per side,
Yeah,
right?
360 tons for each team. Assaults, you'd have to be dumping the rest of your tonnage elsewhere, but I expect that there will be multiple heavies for each of these teams with the 360 tons for their 6 mechs total.
Absolutely. High ground, probably going to be pretty important here. This a little bit more so than week one, where we saw this as the light drop. High ground again important there, but it kind of breaks into a brawl. I think positioning week two, Vitric Station is going to be a lot more important. We're going to see a lot different type of play here. Therax, do you expect the brawl again from these teams?
I, I think it's going to be mainly brawly. You can do range on these maps, and teams might try that for one of their drops, but I do expect that these teams, they're probably just going to look to control the ramp, just move their forces up and set up on either side of the ramp and just try to either trade over that ramp or even just push straight over it. You might see an Overwatch mech from either of these teams, but I would I'm thinking Sabers. They've played with Overwatch mechs before on this map in other leagues, so maybe they will elect for an Overwatch mech, but there are Overwatch positions on the upper side that can cover the ramp. So we'll see if the teams elect to use that. Now, one thing to note is that 2 of the Crusaders are gone from Oxidation Initiation, which is... The Crusader is a very strong mech at these tonnages, so that might indicate a little bit less likely that they're going to be brawling on this drop.
I'm assuming because we saw the locust from them on drop one that they have a plan for their other Javelin 11Fs because that mech is so popular right now. This
Yeah.
is another map with verticality. I could maybe see them trying to utilize those on this drop. I'm suspecting with 6v6, you might see as far as kind of typically see kind of a wolf pack kind of deal or a hammer and anvil kind of setup. Wolf pack, whatever you want to call it. Probably going to be looking for 2 kind of fast movers here, and then their main, as you said, either a push and trying to hold that middle, maybe some range elements out there on the sides. Don't forget to the number of buildings on the sides here, where you can really get creative, get some really interesting sight lines from these teams. Do their homework. They hang out in these maps and the training grounds and the Chimera grounds, just hanging out, checking out these spots and seeing where they can see from each one of those buildings. So it's kind of interesting. Sometimes we'll see somebody really put in the time, get some really great spots, and be able to farm a team even with one mech in one great position.
Yeah, I've heard of legendary players pulling things off with, say, an enforcer off on the flank.
Yeah, I mean sometimes that happens.
One thing that I'm going to put out here for people unfamiliar with the map is that Theta is located in the center of the map, but it's not on the upper level. The ramps go on either side of the Theta cap. The cap point's on the low ground. So teams have to send a mech to the low ground to grab that. They might like to play low ground. The high ground gives such an advantage, though, that I expect that teams are going to play on the upper ground and then just maybe run a mech to Theta and then get up on the ramps, or perhaps just ignore Theta completely. Although with the higher tonnage, the first week people were ignoring caps with the 250 ton drop on this map. With 360 tons, the caps become a little bit more of a real threat.
That's true because your overall speed of your team and its ability to move drastically different, right? So if you wait too long in those caps, it can actually end up biting you if they can sit back and play the time long enough.
Yeah, and then for Sigma Gamma, they're pretty off to the side. They're almost home caps on this map. It feels like, where yes, you can send a light around to circle around behind and grab it, or if the opposing team stalled out, you can maybe sneak something under the ramps to go for it, or something through the structure. But for the most part, those caps, once they've been taken by the team that is on that spawn side, I don't really see a lot of back capping occurring. So it comes down to who has control of Theta, I believe, even with the higher tonnage here. I don't think there's going to be a lot of light mechs sneaking a cap in the background.
You know, that's fair to say, Therax. But from my experience, and when I look at these guys, I see a bunch of heroes. I don't see a bunch of cowards. I see a bunch of people that want to take the fight head on. Now, sure, you could tug a war over Theta, try to control the caps and get the other team to push into you. Or, you can grow some hair on your chest, bring a brawl deck, bring your homies along with you, push right into the enemy, quench your bloodlust.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. We'll see what happens here. Teams are readied up, so we should be launching in any second now.
Oops. Almost dropping on the wrong map. Good thing we're not running the lobby. That would have happened for sure.
Yeah. I'm going to point out both teams locked in at 350 tons. This is a 360-ton limit.
Okay. That's why I have a feeling, Therax, we're going to see some quick moving brawl, like, gosh, think of some Braveheart kind of shit here in the middle. They're both going to run up those ramps, run into each other, and the carnage will ensue. I'm excited for this drop.
Yes, so am I. So we had a 1-0 lead right now for the Sorenson Sabers, and we're going into drop 2 here. So this is it going to tie up, or is it going to be in favor of Sabers going into the final drops here?
For a team that really kind of wants to get back to that 1-1, that even ground, winning that drop 1 is a great way to do that. Really bring some confidence, momentum into these doubled up maps, Vitric Station, and then Frozen City after this?
Yeah, we got Frozen City for the final 2 drops. Now I am on Sorenson Sabers side here. We've got a couple of Hunchback 4 SPs, that is 2 more Hunchbacks from the Sabers used up, and 1 Locust 1V. And we have a Stalker 7D, an Archer, the hero, Tempest, I believe, and they're rounding it off with a Marauder. Now, the Stalker is small laser MRM, it's not mid-range vomit. The Tempest is MRMs, ER small. I'm seeing a theme, MRMs and small lasers on the Marauder.
Okay. Therax. These guys are after my heart. I've said that before and I'll say it again. Oxidation, or HyperOxii2. We have 3 Victor 9A1s. That's the steak sauce. And we have heavy Goss on those bad boys. We have a Warhammer Black Widow with 4 AC5s. And then we got a couple of fleas. So kind of that wolf pack that I talked about. And those assault that you said we wouldn't see here today. We're seeing that.
Yeah, they brought 2 20-ton lights to enable them to bring the triple assault drop.
Worth noting, they're not looking to actually get any offensive power out of their fleas here. HyperOxii isn't. Both of their fleas are machine guns and then flamers. So I guess what their plan is, if they run into any lights, they'll just overheat them and then machine gun them, kill them, run away. I don't know.
So this is definitely going to be on Swords and Sabers to make that push into the heavy Goss. Trout's at 88%, but he is open somewhere. He is red. And he's the only light off the Sabers, so...
This is the tug of war that you predicted, though, Therax. Get that early cap and then try to get the other guys to push into you.
Sabers are dropping, so they're going to...
Yeah, they're making a move. They're really committing to that
Flea's looking at him from behind. And MRMs are not great at dealing with fleas, so...
I think this is dangerous. HyperOxii, there's 2 UAVs up that Sorenson popped before they did this, and they're just completely ignoring them. I don't know if that's a great play, because now they're going to know every peek that they're taking from that top position. On the flip side, Sorenson Sabers now gave these Victors a free march up to get within that heavy Goss range, so... This is going to be interesting. I think that Oxy's going to drop down there and then crack those skulls open with those heavy Goss.
I think dropping would be a mistake here from HyperOxii. The DPS of the heavy Goss is not very high. People think it's a brawling weapon, but it's more of a short-range trading weapon.
Check out Gamma Therax. We have a light fight going on here. Those are the fleas. They got this Locust caught out by himself.
The Trout can't do this. He is 1v2 whenever he tries to go for cap. The Sabers
he didn't
are
even
going
try
to have to push.
It. Oh, boy. Yeah, that's not good at all. That's their only cap mech, correct?
Yes, he needs to run.
Yeah.
He can never take a fight, and they can never get one of those side caps as long as as just by
And
himself. He can't
HyperOxii2's
go
got
for
the
it.
answer for this. Like I said that they weren't really looking for offensive firepower to the fleas, and you know it might take them forever to kill this light, but it's exactly the kind of thing that this light can't attack them. They completely own the cap game right now.
Side torso's open on that Locust. That's going to be an XL engine. He needs his
These
team
guys
to be
getting,
supporting him here.
yeah.
The Sabers absolutely have to make a push, and
Those fleas are kind of getting a little too into this main here, though. I'm a little worried about that. They should definitely be concerned about surviving and just
the MRMs are not going to be a big threat to the fleas. It's more the small lasers that are going to be. Yeah, Trout's trying to do something with caps, and he just gets picked off. So if Sabers had pushed while the two fleas were on their Locust, that might have been the advantage, the opening they needed. Now they're just down a mech, and they're looking at eventually having to push 5v6.
Yeah, I mean, with these Victors here on top, without dropping down that Warhammer, they pretty much own the top. They own the side caps, right? Because these guys can't really move out from out there without getting punished by the Victors. They're making a move, though. The Sorenson Sabers up that ramp. They're going to try and push into this.
They're down percentage, but they do have the superior DPS.
Yeah, and they're moving. They're committing to this. The Jimmy's just like, follow me!
We have mechs dropping and
they're like,
falling.
Let's do it for Jimmy!
Yeah, those fleas coming in the backs yet too. This is definitely going oxidation initiation's way.
I believe what this is called, what we're seeing here, the technical term is the old meat grinder. They're just pushing in and getting chewed up. Wow, outstanding.
Well, Shy Archer's putting some mechs down here before he goes down. But yeah, this is Hetman's still alive.
Nobody kills Shy Archer except for Shy Archer, and gosh, he's gonna take some of them to hell with him. I didn't hear him punch out. You know, committed. I like that.
Yeah, we have the Marauder 9M going in alone. One of the fleas is legged. The other flea is also legged. Maybe he can pick up a couple kills here quick.
If he keeps shooting though with these flamers on him, yeah, there you go.
He's powered down. Yeah.
You gotta override, my guy. Where's the guys on the Sorenson Sabers that are like, hey, override at the beginning of the match? Where's their ITSC? Anyway, that was a great drop. Really close. I think that HyperOxii just came with a better plan. You know.
They did have the advantage in the light mechs, and when you recognize that, you can't send your light off to cap, which is it forces the push. And it's just a little bit too much armor is bled before the push was initiated, and
to me, it's interesting that Oxy brought 3 assaults, 1 heavy, and they're still the more mobile team here. Like this deck really makes a lot of sense to me, and even if the Sorenson Sabers do something different in the mech lab, I think that setup was hard to beat.
Just running it through here, Chernobyl Toast, he's got 500 damage with that Victor with 2 kills. Brandon's got 1 kill with 400 damage on the Saber side. The Archer, which I believe had a longer life cycle than some of his earlier push buddies, puts up 430 out of Magnetron, and Shay Archer picks up one of the kills with 400 damage there. That one, I think it was partially mech lab, partially drop deck, and partially just the in-game tactics. A little bit of stuff to clean up there. So that ties up our match, and the teams are switching sides now for the next drop on Vitric Station, so I need to remember to switch the logos.
The Sorenson Sabers essentially gave up all map control when they dropped, but they really lost it when the Trout unfortunately got isolated and tagged out there and just whittled down by those fleas. Like he didn't die that first long engagement, but boy, that hurt. And then he was the first to go on that team as well. That's all their mobility.
Yeah, it's a tough task when you're the only light facing off against 2. Like you can't engage, but your team needs you to get a cap, and well, what are you supposed to do? A little bit of a unfortunate situation, and tried to sneak a cap, got caught.
I'm interested to see how Sorenson Sabers responds to that. Do they change their game plan, right? Or are they going to stick with what they ideally had brought? I mean, we won't know that. But we might see them maybe be more aggressive, or maybe try to really get that theta cap and play it the other way around, so
Yeah.
that Oxy has to push into them.
Now, do you see this strat changing for either team now that the victors are off the table, the hunchbacks are off the table, or do you expect the teams are going to bring basically the same strat? I've got the map strat up again if we think that there's something different that's going to be occurring.
I don't actually think that necessarily something different is going to occur. I think what we've seen from these two teams is that these positions here are probably not going to be used, at least for Overwatch. They'll be used. The victors were just kind of standing out there in the open. That this last match, were they on team one side? I think so.
Uh, yes,
Um,
it was team one. Yeah,
yep.
they were definitely
They were
exposing there, looking for
and they but they
early
could,
damage.
because they were all power positioning there. So that's interesting. The victors, they brought 3 of them. There's other 80-ton mechs that can be used for pushing to something like a charger or something. And I think Sorenson Sabers they seem to really like that small pulse synergy or that small laser
Yep.
synergy, and I think one of those things is quirked for it. I don't know. But I think we might see something beefy like that. I like decks that have synergy, and I really like the idea of 3 of one type of mech being the main theme or the main idea
Yeah, they have the
in
same
your deck.
range profile, the same build, the same
Yep.
engagement range.
And you can just
Um,
kind of anchor your plan, your deck, or your flexibility around that.
Yeah, so what we saw there was the both teams went for high ground. One team dropped, the other team stayed high, and then the bottom team had to try and push up a ramp, which is it's challenging. It's not impossible, but it does put you a little bit of advantage. So maybe teams this time around will make more of an effort to try and hold high ground.
I think Sorensen Sabers is going to learn that lesson, and if anything, they'll be the last team to drop this time. I
Yeah,
think that I think if anything, they'll die on the high ground at least this time. If
yeah.
they get
I
pushed.
mean, their locust was getting jumped by the fleas, so you gotta try and save him, try and protect him around Theta, but it pushing up the ramps is just a little bit hard. There's only one ramp up as opposed to 2 ramps across. So if you stay high, you have twice as many ramps to push, and I think they're wider ramps as
Even
well.
worse when there's 6 heavy goss focusing
Yeah,
on that one choke point ramp that you all have to go up.
I mean the first guy's gonna be dead, but then hopefully his teammates can follow it up.
I do believe that was Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy leading the team. Yeah,
That's right. By example. You know how much I love a hero and a leader that's willing to go out there and take a bullet for his team. Godspeed, Jimmy.
all right, I'm gonna pop the map strat off. Looks like teams are basically
We got
ready
a
to
bunch of
go.
green boxes. We got 2 locked teams. Gosh, I'm excited to see where it goes from here. You should let them bet channel points on the matches, Therax. Get the
Oh, absolutely.
gambling.
But I don't know if I have channel points set up yet. I'm not really sure how that all works.
Well, you got a busy schedule, so
Well,
we're gonna into it.
more I just didn't get it done. All right.
I'm still hoping, for that Carnage, that barbarian bloodlust here in the middle, where they just go smash into each other. Don't think we're gonna see that necessarily. But gosh darn it, Therex, that's what I'm hoping for. Dropship's
Okay,
coming
teams are
in.
coming in. So we have, I'm looking at Oxidation Initiation. We have 3 Charger 1A1s, that's going to be small lasers. Their last Crusader, one of their Javelins, and their last Locust, I believe.
Holy moly.
Okay, we've got
Okay,
Snub-Nose
Sword.
PPCs with small lasers on the Crusader. The Chargers are just small lasers, straight small lasers.
Sorens and Sabers are doing all kinds of things over here. So we got a ham and cheese, a Hatamoto cheese that's 3 light PPCs, 3 Ultra UAC2s. It looks like they're bringing some more MRMs. They got another MAD 9M, so that's the missile marauder We got an IV4, 2 MRM30s, standard build. That's, what year is it? Jimmy's rocking the Grand Dragon. He's got 2 SRM4s, 3 snub nose. They got a Vulcan with snubs, and then they have the Phoenix Hawk 1B, and that's with 4 light PPCs. Tolax is running some light machine guns on there. Do we have a hold going on?
Yeah, teams have called a hold, but there's a cap taken, so it's actually too late to hold, but maybe teams are going to do a redrop here.
Well, they could agree to redrop, I guess.
Yeah, teams can do whatever they want. I'm not a ref, you know.
Yep.
I'm not going to tattle on them. Okay, teams look like they've agreed to redrop, so...
These guys are all friends here, you know?
Yeah, they're on friendly terms. They scrim each other. They
Yeah,
play together with each other.
Until the timers go, and the caps start a ticking, and the blood starts a flowing, and the armor starts a melting.
All right, so teams are just self-destructing here. We're going to get a redrop for everyone watching, and then teams might change up their mechs. They might not. We'll find out.
Kind of a bummer we went through all those mechs, you know?
Yeah, we've got two redrops in three.
But boy howdy,
so far. So,
am I clairvoyant there, Axe? You know, I was kind of hinting at it. Maybe some 3 charger decks here, and what? Lo and behold, look at what we got here.
Yeah, 3 charges works pretty well for the tonnage on this particular drop.
What is surprising is it wasn't the team I thought it would be.
Well, Sabers might be saving it for a later drop. We'll find out as the match goes on.
That's so true. That's so true.
Just waiting for the last 2 mechs to die here, and then we will have the redrop coming up shortly.
Can Jimmy do it? Whoop. Whoop. Hey.
The enemy has capped enough resources. We've failed.
Was it the same team with the disconnect, or did we pass that around?
I wasn't tracking that.
I guess we'll find out when we get.
I'm leaving it to the players to self-ref. I'm not stepping in here. They can do it's their show.
Yeah, you're right. I'm just wondering if we had another bondsman claimed.
Yeah. I know that the rules typically include some sort of mention about teams only being allowed like 1 redrop per match or 1 redrop per drop or something, but
you know, that's for rule sticklers, you know, people that are no fun. These guys want to play MechWarrior and they want to play it fair. You gotta admire that. Good sportsmanship.
yeah, so looks like teams are green boarded. Probably see some ready ups right shortly here.
Ever since the ice storm, the internet goes out randomly once a day. Don't understand it. What's with the evil internet tonight?
Yeah, I'm just hoping my cast stays up the entire time here. Got a little bit of cold snap here in North America.
But I'm going to refuse to talk about the weather.
Okay.
Unless it's the weather here on Vitric Station. Therax, is this a hot map?
I do believe the faction play map is one of the hottest in the game. So I don't know if that carried over to the quick play version.
Great question. I don't know about you, Therax, but boy howdy, I'm sure hoping that they kept the same drop decks, because I don't want to have to go through all of those individual mechs again.
I mean, it was looking like an interesting matchup, so I wouldn't mind seeing how it plays out.
Sorenson Sabers, they've got all kinds of stuff going on. I like that.
Okay, we're currently tied 1-1. Teams are coming back in. A little bit hard to keep track of the score with all the redrops, but we have only seen 2 drops played so far.
Looks like the same deck from the Sabers.
I'm looking at Oxidation Initiation. Yes, we have the same drop. Same drop deck, so I'm assuming it's the exact same builds. We're going to see small lasers on the Chargers and Snub-Nose PPC with small lasers on the Crusader. Locust is going to be this machine gun variant. Javelin's going to be machine guns. And then with the Sabers, we have some MRMs, some Snub-Nose PPC, a little bit of UAC2, a little bit of light PPC. Just a bit of a scattering of builds here. I'm just going to bring them up real quick for anyone who just joined us. We've got light PPC, Ultra 2 on the MechWarrior. Dragon is triple Snub-Nose PPC with a pair of SRM4s. Marauder has 2 MRM20s, 5 small lasers. Quickdraw IV4 is a pair of MRM30.
Therex, just to note, just early movements here. HyperOxii is taking a completely different approach. They're now sneaking lights way off to their right side to get behind them, and their main force is moving up to the middle. So this is going to be kind of a bit of a different engagement. I think their lights want to try and get behind them and do the old hammer and anvil kind of deal here.
Chargers are getting to the ramp. Are they going to slow down, or are they just going in? Nope, they are peeking.
Mesarius is peeking on his own, and that wasn't a great idea.
Peek was punished. He was trying to get intel, probably, as opposed to deal damage. Okay.
Oh, wow. Sorsons are pushing over here now. They're going to commit to trying to kill him.
Some of their mechs are pushing, some of them are not.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. That was a mistake, though. I think that, well...
This might work
Rocco's getting hurt. Yep.
The Locust is coming in on the back of the MechWarrior, though.
What did we talk about, though? I think the Sorenson Sabers were pretty committed to not losing the high ground, as I say, as they dive off to go kill those guys. That's fine, though. Let's see what's
as long as everyone drops, it's not a mistake. It's very aggressive. They are just going in there. No mechs have gone down yet.
The amount of time that we've all been together here, somebody should have died now. So this is interesting that we're still going here. We got a lot of little battles going on. We got some 2v1s, some 1v1s, and just some unfair fights.
First mech goes down.
Doing work.
Second mech goes down, still tied between each team, but Sabers are a little bit behind in percentages. They are ahead in kills, though, now.
Looks like that dragon's leg, Jimmy. Oh, jeez. Oh, the Phoenix Hawk is legged. This is starting to, the dominoes are starting to fall for HyperOxii here. They still got 2 mechs above 90%. I think... the
lights came in and did some work. I think that's what's turning it here. One of the Chargers, he's got a single leg left. Somebody just needs to drop him. Take those lasers out of the fight.
These Chargers are kind of chonky. And I think that's, at the end of the day, those MRMs. So my thought is in comp, MRMs are tough because in quick play, they farm damage. In comp, they spread damage all over the place. So you may feel like you're doing good and you may feel like it's really helping out the team, but it doesn't really mean much if you're just kind of spraying a hose all over the enemy team.
Yeah, a little bit hard to focus down specific components like legs, which is very important in a brawl like this. Take out the legs, a quick way to get kills.
Quick cooldown on small lasers from those Chargers makes a big difference.
Yeah, so we've got one of the Chargers, Mesius. He's got 4 kills with just under 400 damage. And a couple other kills. The other 2 kills went out on the Locust. So the Locust Javelin, they were doing a little bit of cleanup, but the Charger picked up the majority of the kills. Looking at Swords and Sabers, damage spread relatively even. The MechWarrior is a little bit lower. They weren't part of the initial push because they were initially set up at range, and then the push was called, and the MechWarrior just doesn't have the speed to get in there. Jimmy's putting up 400 damage with the Dragon, but in the end, the drop just goes away of Oxidation Initiation, and they take a 2-1 match lead.
Overall, though, the damage spread was there. You know, I kind of mentioned it too. We had. It really broke down into pure pandemonium down there. There was a real slobber knocker, and we had a lot of individual battles going on. Everybody was kind of just trying to do their part. I think just Oxy, like I said, with those Chargers, with those small lasers, that's going to be better for Lagan. If that's what you're going for, just that cooldown. It's a lot of armor to chew through in these decks. And if you don't have the pinpoint to really just focus the damage that you are putting out, I think, yeah, it's going to be hard to beat that deck.
All right, I'm going to pop up the map strat here. Teams are not switching sides yet.
This is Frozen City, and this is the big boy drops this week, yeah?
Yeah, so what is it, 420 tons total for 6 mechs?
That's correct. Do you think we see trading, or do you think we see brawling here?
Well, the Chargers
have been
gone for the Oxidation Initiation. They're also out of Victors, so I think they're they're going to be limited to either mid-range or long range in terms of what mechs they have remaining.
One team brought a stalker already, correct, on drop 1?
Yeah, Sabers brought the MRM stalkers. So the Sabers have used up a little bit of their stalkers, but they have not used up their chargers or their victors, so they still have
Somebody
brawl
brought a
options.
7Z.
So Sabers have the Team 1 side, and the Team 1 side, I think, is the favorable for trading. If you set up on Candy Mountain or in the, what is that grid, Fox 7, Delta 6, okay? Yeah, so there's some pretty good range trading options for Team 1 if they elect to go for that, controlling Epsilon and then contesting or perhaps managing to take the Theta Cap, the all-important Theta Cap. And then for Team 2, the trading positions aren't as favorable, but you can set up around the dropship. You can even head to Echo 4 in the up in the city. Further back, Gulf 5. You know, you've got positions out in Fox 6. You can make some sort of a push through. Sorry, wrong color there. You can make a push through the Fox line. You can push low ground. Very good push options there.
I almost feel like their Team 2 has so many options that it's just super hard to decide how you want to play it from there. While Team 1, they really just have those strong range positions there, and then the ability to kind of rotate across the way into that Echo 4 area. I've been seeing through scrims, through the match that we had, and just through some other things, that the Echo foreground actually with this 3-cap setup is actually pretty valuable ground for trading against anything that's in this Delta 5 Candy Mountain area. Oops, didn't mean to move your arrows here. Moving that there. But if you can take this area aggressively, either as Team 2 or as Team 1, I see that as being a pretty strong place to be. It's easier to hold Kappa, honestly, I feel like, in this particular setup than Epsilon. From Team 1 side, because you're going to be playing those strong range positions, it's kind of blocked off from Epsilon. And because it's 6v6, you don't want to commit a 1 mech just to sit up there just to watch your back cap either.
Yeah, caps can be pretty important on this drop with a higher tonnage. Theta is difficult to get. If you can rush it early, maybe you can maintain it. But it's difficult to take against a ranged team once teams are set up. Epsilon's relatively easy to take for Team 1, but Team 2 does have the option of coming back and grabbing it. It isn't always covered by range. And the Kappa Cap, the issue with the Kappa Cap is that it's so far outside of the normal combat zone. That might be the increased importance of Echo 4. Normally in a 5 cap you don't really see much action there, but because cap is nearby, maybe that's why we're seeing a lot of Echo 4 engagement at the when teams are playing ranged at the mid and higher divisions, I believe. So we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, and it's not even that necessarily everybody's putting a lot of weight in Echo 4, but just whatever happens in that particular part of the map seems to play a major part in how the whole drop goes.
The team that controls Echo 4 controls Kappa, which is a valuable cap. You do have to send a mech from Echo 4 to go get it. That is a bit of a trip, but it's pretty easy to control Kappa from the Echo 4. You don't see any action through the caves.
And that's all high ground, right? Because everything around here, this is all low ground. So you get the old, like, Anakin, I have the high ground kind of deal, too. You got Kappa to your back. You can really protect it. It's hard for them to push into Echo 4, and you got great lines on Theta from there.
Yep. Yeah, high ground
is taking a little bit longer to lock up this time. I wonder if they're trying to adjust their game plan to figure this out. It is HyperOxii2 with a 2-1 lead. Yes, there, X?
Yes, it is HyperOxii who is leading the match. Sabers can still come back and win it. And
I wouldn't be surprised if they do.
Yeah, definitely. The matches have been relatively close, the drop so far. And in the week 1, the Sabers actually ended up dropping their first 3 drops in their week 1 match, but then they came back and won the latter 2 drops. So they have shown better performance is at the higher tonnage relative to the earlier tonnages based out of that 1 match sample size.
True that. Maybe they're just more comfortable in those mechs, or the pace of these heavier drops is just more comfortable for them to play on.
All right, taking down the map strat. Teams are locking up. Sabers have 420 tons locked in. Oxidation initiation is looking at 415. Currently not locked, but they are mostly green board. Probably see a lock any second now.
Probably just talking over some last minute details about the strat that they're going to run. Locked up now. I'm excited to see what's going to happen on the old Frozen City, Therax.
Yeah, getting in there.
Yeah, getting in there.
Yeah,
digging in, you know.
Hopefully not crashing. Okay, nobody's called a hold yet.
Cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, I'm remembering not to touch the movement keys at all here with the camera. I had issues with that in some of my earlier casts, so we have a crash. We have a crash.
We have a crash. Crash.
This time there's a Sabers with a crash. We'll see if they can reconnect or if we have to go to another redrop.
Command coming in. Capture and hold the resource point. Stop any hostiles that get in your way.
So we're going to wait with going through the mechs until we know whether they're doing a redrop or not.
For sure.
I guess while we're waiting, I can run around, look at the scenery away from where the mechs are located.
Both teams now appear to have a DC.
Oh, brutal. Absolutely brutal. What kind of third world country infrastructure do these players have? They might be on Conquest or something.
Ah.
A lot of white on this map.
Could be worse. It could even be Rogers.
Ooh. Yeah. Teams are floating the redrop, which would be the third one tonight, and we haven't even completed 4 matches.
Did one of their guys come back?
You know, I'm not actually able to see that at the moment. Unless I bring up the mech drop list.
13 go. Hey, we're going!
Okay, we gotta go. All right.
Hey!
I ended up here looking at the blue team. Just gonna wait until they start moving before I pop up the... Well, you know what? They said they're good to go, so let's look at it. All right, Sorenson Sabers. We have 2 Banshee 3Es, Roughneck 3A, Mauler 1P, Wolverine 6K, and a single Locust. So they only have the one light mech for the cap again.
All right. Let's see here. HyperOxii, I'm trying to figure out where to start here. We have a Mauler MX90 with AC5s. We have a Stalker 5S with ER larges. We have a Banshee 3E with 3 ER larges and a Gauss rifle. We have a Marauder 5M with 3 ER larges and
a light fight.
Rifle.
Sorry to interrupt you. Looked like the Locust was looking at engaging 1v2 on Theta. He's backed off now.
Well, speaking of those lights, it's 2 Wolfhounds, which is kind of interesting. Not a popular mech pick so much anymore, but let's see what they do.
They got Theta with them.
Yep, they sure did. The 1A is 5 ER mediums, and what's the 1B here? The 1B is also 1B is 5 medium pulse. Interesting. So they got a range element. HyperOxii is setting up by the drop ship. They're kind of trying to take that area that I talked about, that Echo 4 area.
Yeah.
They got their whole range element sitting up here, and then they got their lights moving into the back, trying to do stuff at Epsilon.
Now they do have the advantage in lights here. Oxidation initiation 2. The Wolfhound's chasing that one locust off the cap pretty easily. So Sorenson Sabers going to have to find a way to either pick a light with an assault mech, which is going to be a bit of a challenge. Maybe the Wolverine can support the light to try and sneak a cap somewhere, because they're currently down 2 caps to 0. They've accidentally taken Gamma. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
So
I think the Sabers are really hurting themselves too with this one light idea that they keep running with. They definitely shouldn't have taken that cap, but now they definitely got to move and try to kill them. And that's going to be hard to do because they got that range element sitting up on the high ground there.
They do have a lot of DPS with the LBX2s and AC2s in their drop deck, but they have to realize they need to make a push now. So for the viewers, we're going to run through here with the cap situation. There are only 3 legal caps, which is Kappa, Theta, and Epsilon. Gamma and Sigma are off limits. If you accidentally or on purpose take one of the illegal caps, you have to kill the entire enemy team before the match ends, or you lose the drop regardless of whether or not you have a cap win. So you cannot win on caps if you've taken Gamma or Sigma, unless if you've wiped the other team. So Sabers have to kill the entirety of Oxidation Initiation, or they will lose this match now, regardless of everything else.
Fight with the Oxy Wolfhounds, and I just don't understand what he's gonna try and do against these guys. He's got E-Light PPC, and they have, you know, lasers.
I mean, even the strongest light pilot in the game would struggle to win a 1v2 against 2 Wolfhounds with a Locust.
For whatever it's worth, this is worth illustrating that Epsi cap is kind of hard to hold here from that Team 1 side, because it's kind of just around the corner there.
The Locust is legged. He's about to go down.
I'm going to miss you, bud.
So
see you later, Trout. He's going to the big river in the sky.
Yeah, Sabers have multiple issues going on right now.
At this point, Oxy doesn't even need to take that Kappa cap, even though they easily could.
Well, do you want to hedge your bets that Sabers will end up struggling to kill all of your mechs, or do you want to just run the caps faster? Like they could try for a cap win at this point, Oxidation Initiation, by taking the 3rd cap. There's no light mech to oppose them on that.
Exactly, but also at the same time, does Sorenson Sabers even know that Gamma was not a cap that they could take?
I'm sure they're aware. I'm sure they're aware.
Okay,
they might not know how to react.
They just don't seem to be moving.
Yeah, I think they're completely unsure what to do in this situation here, how to adapt their strategy. They're making a little bit of a move now, but you know, and just make a push. They need to still win the push. They can't just, you know, go in there. They have to find the right angle. They have to find maybe some early damage before pushing, but it's not looking very good. They're losing their trades. They lost their light. They're behind in caps, and they have an illegal cap point. So
these Banshees are gonna go face off against the Wolfhounds now, which are just running away, which makes sense.
They have to kill those Wolfhounds. They don't have a Locust to chase them down with. Like, if one of those Wolfhounds were to run away and power down, they still have to find and kill it.
I know. I don't understand why they're even engaging with this main body here. Like, they could just leave.
Yeah, one of the Wolfhounds is open on a side torso, probably an XL engine, but they're now backing off.
Interestingly enough, the Roughneck Shy Archer has a leg open. I don't know if he was skipping leg day or if somebody was intentionally burning his leg.
It could be a little bit of both. I mean, he's open on the one side, so it could be Burns missing the side torso and hitting the leg. He could also just be shielding with the one side when he's trading with the back and forth position that he's taking there.
I'd like to see the Sabers do something here.
Yeah, they don't have very many options, but they do need to do something. The Mauler here from Mesius
they don't have
percentage.
Yeah, they don't have percentage. They got the wrong cap.
Yeah, the Mauler's been taken off the trading. It's disadvantaged with the AC5s versus the ER large, so he's off trading now. He's lost armor. He's going to get a cap point. So the lights are still just hanging out around Epsilon, but the Oxidation Initiation is about to pick up the 3rd cap with Kappa. So this is a closing window for the Sabers to make a move to try and get that 6 kills. They're taking the Epsilon cap here with the Wolverine, which will slow the bleed down, but they still need to do something more. The Wolverine's kind of engaging 1v2 now with the Wolfhounds.
Kappa is under enemy control.
And struggling to get that flip the cap. The Wolverine is open in the CT now, so this is not looking like a very safe 1v2 here for Magnetron and the Wolverine. He's got some backup coming, but Jimmy's gone down. Sabers still not looking like they're going to make a push here. The Wolverine has been halved and lost all of his weaponry, so I mean, there's so many issues here for the Sabers right now. I don't want to call it as over, but it's looking kind of over. Feels a little bit early to be calling that, but and Judas has gone quiet.
Sorry about that. As we know, Therax, all it takes is one Chad Stalker at the end of the match, and we're sitting at 92% over there at HyperOxii. So it's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
Percentage is not looking good for Sorenson Sabers. They got a Chad Mauler though, you know.
Banshee goes down on the Epsilon cap. The Wolverine doesn't have any weaponry. He's gone down.
They've taken Epsilon.
So this is just the last 2 survivors of the Sorenson Sabers. They are looking at, I don't know, continuing the trade to see if they can maybe pick up a kill here.
Oxy's still yet to lose a mech.
Yeah, one of the Wolfhounds are pretty beat up, but they're coming in for back shots here on these traders who are not looking all that healthy either.
I don't know. Hank's looking okay.
Yeah, 79%. Roughneck is open, all of his torsos and down.
Not having a good time. Was he XL?
Yeah, it turns out it was an XL build with 4-year large.
Is that going to happen? The Wolfhound's doing the old spit roast on the Mauler here. Hank's getting the old how do you do reach around. And it looks like that'll wrap up this adventure on Frozen City. Anything that could have gone wrong for Sorenson Sabers did. Sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles. I'm
definitely a drop
to see what they bring back.
Yeah, definitely a drop Sorenson Sabers would like to replay. This is not how you were drawing it up. Oh, that Wolfhound was a light engine, not an XL. Okay. So yeah, there's one more drop here. Swords and Sabers can adjust their strategy or just straighten some things out.
They're in it for the money.
Yep.
You know? They're gonna go for that MC. Holy moly! You see that Toast guy on Oxy? He's putting up some numbers.
5 kills, 800 damage to that Wolfhound.
Killing the whole team. Yep.
Brandon's pulling 600 in there as well. So those Wolfhounds carried hard. Sabers just do not have an answer for them in the Locust or the Wolverine.
They're getting beat in the lights, and again, I think it's really tough for them to do anything when they only have the one light, and Oxy keeps bringing 2 to contend against that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what those lights are. It could be Wolfhounds. It could be, those fleas without even offensive weapons with flamers. It doesn't really matter if there's 2 to your 1 every time.
Yeah, so at this point, Oxidation Initiation has won the match. They've got 3 wins to the Sabers 1. But you get MC for each drop win, so Sabers still looking to get a little bit of MC to go with their next match here. Just pull it back a little bit, get some of that MC, make things a little bit closer here, make some adjustments, come out feeling better with that win. Now teams are switching sides, so I'm going to make that adjustment here quick. Okay, I'm going to pull that map strat back up. To do a quick recap on the last drop, basically the Team 2 side with Oxidation Initiation, they ran a couple of lights up to Theta early, where the Sabers had also run a single light, and so the Sabers light had to back off and go around and grab the Epsilon cap. And after Theta was taken, the Wolfhounds just kind of hung around, just more or less just sat in a grid here, Echo 7, Fox 7 a little bit, and then a little bit Fox 8, and they just they took out the light at Epsilon, took the cap, giving them a 2-cap lead, and then took out whoever came to try and retake that Epsilon cap. Pretty dominant position, dominant play from the Wolfhounds. A lot of trading at long range was going on from dropship or even further back from the rest of Oxidation Initiation as well. But it was definitely the Wolfhounds that carried the drop there.
Easily, and the range element didn't have to do much except simply exist pretty much. I think another thing that really played into the Wolfhound's ability to live there forever, and you kind of mentioned this at least one time before, is this that there's actually an elevation difference around in this area. So those Wolfhounds actually get a lot of good peaks because there's actually some hills that they can crest there and quickly peek back under.
Yeah.
So while it may look kind of exposed in that area, they're actually pretty well guarded there.
Yeah, definitely. That is definitely a point to bring up, that there is kind of in effect a wall for the traders from the Delta 6 position looking toward Epsilon. It looks like it's clear, but because of the elevation changes, it's not actually possible to see into Fox 7 or Fox 8 or even Echo 8, I do not believe.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I said that Epsilon cap is actually just kind of hard to hold from that natural Team 1 trade position. Because it's tucked around the corner, there's that elevation change. It's easy for those lights on Team 2 side to get into there. I'm interested to see what we do here. I really hope that Sorenson Sabers can make the adjustment to at least bring another light so that they can contend better with the cap or with the wolf pack, with the harassment element that HyperOxii2's been taking all night.
Yeah, that's definitely been an issue for a couple drops here, that the Sabers just don't have the mechs to respond to that light pack. And it's not even a dedicated light pack, it's just 2 mechs working together with decent coordination, but the Sabers are bringing an unsupported light, which just isn't able to contest that. So that's an adjustment that could be made here for the Sabres side. Like, it's not even coming down to winning or losing trades, it's just about not being able to have the map control to or cap control and or even to be able to fend off the lights when they start harassing the traders. So definitely some adjustments to be made there. Probably something to change going forward for the next week. I don't know if they can make the change on the fly for today.
One thing I'm surprised to see is so many locusts tonight on these drops. I wonder if that's a legacy thing, or if it's just a mech thing, or if they just don't want to commit any of their overall deck tonnage to the light mech position. And this is both teams too, because HyperOxii brought, I think, a bunch of locusts on
Yeah,
drop
they
one.
used up. I think they might be out of locusts. HyperOxii.
Yeah, I think
they
they are
used
at
up
this
2
point,
fleas
too.
and at least 2 locusts. I think 3.
Right. So they're really just going to town on the 20-ton mechs here, which is fine. I mean, the flea's a pretty strong guy. The locust hasn't been in a great spot for a while, but I think it's just that they don't want to commit any tonnage into that light element. Maybe they just plan, hey, caps, and that's all we care about from them, except for Oxy, I guess, with those wolfhounds.
Yeah,
That was good play by them. That's all
they're
I got to say
definitely
there.
min-maxing their tonnage there, taking Victors and Chargers on the earlier drops, and then even now they're bringing like 3 or 4 assaults. Or was it 4 assaults last drop? Yeah, it was 4 assaults last drop. With the Wolfhounds, their maximum tonnage for light mech at 35, but it is only the 2 of them, whereas we're seeing other teams bring a 3-pack with some mediums mixed in there with a light on this tonnage of drop.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Alright, Alright, teams are having some issues again with players disconnecting here in the lobby before the drop even, so they're having to adjust a little bit on the fly, taking a little bit of time here, but they're kind of more or less readied up. Do you think we're going to see more or less the same thing here with both teams trying to trade, or do you see a change up coming? Different strat maybe coming out of Sorenson Sabers on the Team 2 side?
You know, I hope that Sorenson Sabers makes an adjustment to better deal with any light element of hyper Oxy. Again, they've been pretty consistent with how they've been approaching this match. I think that HyperOxii really came in with a good game plan here as far as their decks, the strats, and the way that they've been playing them. So I guess what I'm saying is that I think Oxy probably has a game plan here, but I don't know what it's going to be. Because they could completely flip the script here, right? We're playing this other side, this Team 1 side. But yeah, Sorenson Sabers. I wonder if I don't see them because they're Team 2, because you have that great 7 line there and that blind there. I foresee them trying to push into Oxy.
Yeah, I think that we haven't seen that push yet from the Sabers quite. At least not on this map. Even on Vitric Forge, it was more of a mid-range deck. Mm-hmm. Maybe this is the one where they crack out that close-range brawl strat, try to move up using cover either on the low ground or moving through like the mid ground, the Fox line. Just to shake things up, change it up a little bit. And there are mechs that they have not used yet, which are still available to them. Whereas they kind of used up their Banshees here for trading and. Yeah, I mean they've used up some of their stalkers as well. Like I'm not really sure what trade mechs they're still looking at playing. So maybe they go with a brawl here just because of either drop deck availability or because of the range. Well, the range game hasn't worked out yet.
What if there's a Skokomish? What if there's 3 Skokomish?
Oh, we could see that, but I
Boy,
doubt
howdy.
it.
Yeah, that would be a very strong play. And one that would make the ladies swoon. But I don't know if we're going to see that kind of play here tonight. Although the Sorenson Sabers would look hella good running down that 7 line in Skokomish's. Death by Snoo Snoo.
Yeah, no, the hero mech limit of 1 per drop, it kind of throws a little bit of a wrench in that, but could just throw it in anyways.
Just believe.
Alright, teams are locking up here, so I'm flipping the map strat back off. We have a lock from Team 1 at 410 tons coming out of oxidation initiation, so they're 10 tons lighter. And they're talking about this being great on stream and that they're doing it for the viewers, so I'm smelling something, I don't know what.
That's what I was saying. Like, for some reason, I'm feeling that we could see anything here. Obviously, this is a lighter drop deck. I doubt that they even try to play the standard reigns. My gut is telling me that nobody's going to be playing Candy Mountain or that D6 area on Oxy's side a minute into this drop.
Yeah, you know, they're talking about it looking great on stream. I'm not smelling trade then. And then they're dropping a little bit light.
Because nobody likes to watch trade, right? That's not exciting.
I don't know. I kind of like watching trade too, but it's a standard move, so I'm thinking that they're gonna want something a little bit unusual here, and I'm excited to see whatever it is.
Looks like the Sabers taking their full tonnage, so gosh, what's gonna happen here? I couldn't be more excited to see the conclusion of this match tonight. Great set of drops. We've got a winner tonight, HyperOxii2. But all the matches have been, well, entertaining. And a few of them have been really close. And let's see if Sabers can pull off a win here at the end, get a little MC, and get that little better looking 2-3 loss. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Currently it's 3-1 in favor of HyperOxii, and only 1 drop won by the Swords and Sabers. Now, it is MC per drop 1, so even though the match is gone the way of of HyperOxii, both teams are actually still playing for the MC. And I'm looking at the oxidation initiation side here. We have a pair of stalkers. They have a Warhammer and a Banshee backing that up, and then they've got again, they're running a Wolfhound, and they're backing it up with a Vulcan this time. So a little bit more of that light packs again.
All right, Sabers side. After my heart here, we got let's see here, 2 Crusaders, 6 Ts. That's looks like there are 14 small pulses. We've got a couple Chargers. If I can get a look on that, that's 7 smalls on that. We have a Thunderbolt, and I always love a good Thunderbolt. That's 5 medium pulse. I don't know if there's work for that or something. And then what's our last guy here? That's actually 3 Crusaders, my bad. So 3 Crusaders, 2 Chargers, and that Thunderbolt, rounding it out.
Yeah, so definitely a hard push deck coming. Looks like they've been spotted. So Oxidation's got to prepare to receive here. They have an ER large drop deck. Stalker's got 4 ER large with a laser AMS. I'm seeing a lot of AMS, but I'm not seeing missiles from anyone. Banshee's got a Gauss 3 ER large.
Well, you don't want to be looking like an idiot out here on a stream getting LRM to death, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's always a constant threat, but nobody's pulled it out yet. So we've got ER large and light Gauss, ER PPC coming out of Stalkers and Warhammers here. So it's pure range.
Yeah,
Not
but
a
I
lot
like
of DPS in
the
their
look. It looks great, Sorenson Sabers running across these buildings and taking a command position on Epsilon. Nobody's going to grab it. They don't got time for caps. This isn't about the caps. Maybe they can catch these Wolfhounds, right?
I mean, I don't think I'm overly concerned about caps for them either at this point. It's going to be... The surprise element's gone, though, so maybe they could take the time to grab a cap, but they're not going to leave someone behind to control it when the lights come back to grab it.
This Vulcan's hanging around to play, it seems. He's getting the backs turned of the Sabers to the guys they have sitting at Candy Mountain.
The Sabers are going after the Vulcan. They're getting damage. His leg is gone, and the Vulcan is down. Veteran's running through the cap. That is exceedingly dangerous. Okay, he did not trigger it.
He didn't take it. Everything's okay. So I'm surprised that HyperOxie's still chosen to stand there on Candy Mountain because they're about to get rammed the fuck over.
Yeah. Typically, you want to rotate some mechs away when you're getting brawl pushed like this.
I don't know if they're going to have the DPS with the heat for this while these guys close the distance.
Now, Sabers are getting a little bit strung out.
This is good, though. I think that they need to spread out a little bit so they present a lot of targets. They're really closing. Like, they're going to get caught flat-footed here, HyperX.
One of the Chargers' leg, but they have closed that gap.
Yep.
One of the Banshees instantly down.
Yep, they paid 1 Charger leg to get one of the Banshees. They've already got, the Vulcan that they took down. Okay. There's some work from the old Wolfhound.
Yeah, they're breaking up their push here a little bit with the Wolfhound coming in their back. They need to just keep pushing, ignore the Wolfhound, take down the rest of the rest down of Oxidation.
Yeah, they got to get them while they're flat-footed here, right? You don't want to lose the momentum here, even if you just turn one guy to the Wolfhound.
Yeah, they rotated the armor to the back. Jimmy's in the back now, and we have these Stalkers. That is not where they want to be fighting. They're going to go down fast.
Yeah, that 5S is cooking right now. And the Warhammer, see you later, bud.
Warhammer's the last one alive, legged and down.
Legs on him. Love that. And so now it's just the Wolfhound.
Now, the Sabers are not fresh at this point, but they do have 5 mechs up. One of their Chargers is legged.
They might not be fresh, but they do have 3 mechs above 80% and 1 at 77.
Yeah, and only one of their mechs is legged right now, so they can split up and get the cap. So the Wolfhound
Crusaders aren't slow either as far as heavies go. That's exactly what I think everybody wanted to see from the Sabers here tonight. Not only a strong answer on the final drop, but some real heroic shit, you know?
Now
Jimmy's just like, I've had enough of that. You know, I've had enough of those Wolfhounds. Let's just go kill them with Chargers. Let's take a giant 80-ton Wolfhound and dunk on them.
Sabers need to be careful around the Gamma cap here. Do not take that by accident. Brandon's got to try and kite here with that Wolfhound. He's got the ER medium, so he does have significant range advantage.
He's going to have range on every single one of these Sorenson Sabers mechs, but...
it's a lot of armor for him to burn through.
Yeah. And,
Brandon's a skilled player.
They're taking the Theta. We're going to be taking the Epsi, so the caps
Yeah,
will
he's
start
getting
to tick.
cornered here. They've got a pincer coming
Beta
in.
is controlled.
Yeah, I don't
They're
think he knows
moving
that
toward Epsi,
Jimmy's-
but they're not caring about that cap. They're trying to get the mech.
Yep, Jimmy's here. Jimmy's like, buddy. You can't run away. You can't run away, Brandon. Yeah, you can't go that way either. What you gonna do, bud?
Now we're seeing a part of the map that we very seldom see as players of this game. Ice fields out in the middle of nowhere. Charger's gotten to range here. Brandon is taking leg damage.
He's diving in, actually. He's just like, you know what? Living is not for me.
He ran
Jimmy,
out of room there.
take me. Take me. Jimmy, draw me like one of your French girls. Lay me down upon the ground like I'm Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady.
Yeah, so Sabers are going to pick up the drop here. So they do end up pulling it back. It is a 3-capped victory for oxidation initiation, so the Sabers get a little bit more MC, and they did manage to pull out another win here. Very nice pincer movement there to try and cut off that Wolfhound, prevent him from being able to get that.
You don't think that those Crusaders and some Chargers would actually catch that Vulcan Wolfhound Wolfpack, but they at least got one of them.
Yeah.
And then I think the HyperOxii2, the standing on Candy Mountain, like, you know, I want to stand my ground too. You know, I want to hold. You know, I want to Sparta this bitch. But that was not the hill to die on.
Yeah, you need to rotate some mechs, get a little bit of spread.
It was actually the hill that they died on.
When you know it's a push that's coming, you need to get that spread between your mechs, or else you just kind of end up dying in a pile.
There's those buildings there to kind of let them get a little close. That's not a whole lot of open ground that they have to make to get to Candy Mountain. Now, had they been across the way and they had to cross down into the low ground and all the way over there, that's a different story. They would have had a lot more time to really have that range, focus the legs, slow them down.
Yeah. So it is the 3-2 victory for HyperOxii. Sabers pull up a pair of wins to make it a closer match. Running through the damage here quick, the Vulcan from Mesius got picked early, so he's down. The Warhammer, he's got the better DPS out of the remaining lights, or out of the remaining assaults and heavies. So, well, you know, it's Goss Peeps. Maybe the DPS isn't that good, but the Stalkers are definitely going to be heat capped in that type of a situation, so they're not putting up much damage. And out of the Swords and Sabers, you've got a pretty even damage spread out of the majority of them. A couple mechs toward the back, a couple mechs toward the front, that type of situation, and just a very nice compact death ball pushing in and getting that win.
Hank going out there and dying for the team, you know, he's like, I'll give my leg for these guys.
I mean, he picked up 2 kills.
After everything they did for me, I'll give my leg. I'll take a couple of kills. Thank you very much.
I'd trade 2 legs for a couple kills any day in a mech.
No doubt.
Not so much IRL. I like my legs.
Well, it'd only be 1.
Still, I do like having both legs.
Well, then you could get a peg leg, and everybody could call you wood leg.
Now that is something there. Well, that concludes our match here. Thanks for joining us, viewers. This was Therax with CptJudas joining me on the co-cast. And we're probably going to do some more games, or I'm going to do some more games. Not sure if Judas is joining me or not. So probably, you know, 24 hours or maybe 20 hours, something like that. Keep an eye on it. We'll pop up streaming some more matches tomorrow. So good games out of these 2 teams. Kept it a little bit interesting here with the final drop, finally seeing that brawl push from the Sabers.
I had a great time. These were some great matches to watch. Every single MWO comp match is fun to watch, in my opinion. It's great to have people out there casting. If you want to see more of them, sign up and cast or something. I don't know. I guess it's just Therax and 1 official cast a week. So, for sure. I'm going to miss you guys.
Yeah. That's it from us. So thanks for watching, and catch you guys around.